What's up, everyone? My name is Untamed Mando, and welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am talking about Ahsoka Episode 3, and I will be quite honest. I was a little. It wasn't horrendous, but it wasn't really great either. And to be quite honest, there was a lot of things that really frustrated me about this episode, specifically the things involving Sabine's training, and kind of, it felt like on one instance, Ahsoka was diminishing the Mandalorian training Sabine got. So I already within the first 5 minutes of this episode, I was not really like digging what was happening. But overall, I would give the episode probably a 5.5, 6. Not much happened. Not really too many things forwarded the plot, in my opinion. It just kind of showed that the Republic is not as competent as it should be, and it just felt a little off. Kind of felt off to me, but it is what it is. I'm not. If you like this episode, that's great. I wished I liked this episode, but the fact that it kind of, in my opinion, diminished the Mandalorian training Ahsoka got, or not Ahsoka, Sabine got, it did not start off with great ratings for me. So why don't we get into it? I have an article pulled up that kind of gives a better synopsis of this episode, better than I can, and I will put my commentary where it needs to be. So let's go ahead and switch on over. There we are. Fabulous. So Screen Rant, Ahsoka Episode 3 recap and ending explain 10 Star Wars reveals. Warning, episode contains spoilers. Okay. There are spoilers. Ooh. I'll make sure to put spoiler alert somewhere in the... I don't know. Spoilers for Ahsoka Episode 3, Ahsoka. Wow, Screen Rant. Come on, bruh. Come on. Who is your editor? My editor wouldn't let something like that happen. Or he would, just to mess with me. Anyway, Episode 3 continues the reunion of Ahsoka and Sabine, featuring a collection of exciting Star Wars reveals as Morgan Elsbeth gets ever closer to bringing back Grand Admiral Thrawn, the former Imperial leader who can allegedly reform the Empire. Following Ahsoka's 2-episode premiere, Tano and Ren are back as master and apprentice while on the hunt for Elsbeth and her allies. As such, they soon learn the truth about what the Ninth Sister of Dathomir has been building in the shadows of the known galaxy. Which things we already knew. What's it called? Words escape me. Lightspeed? No. Oh my god! I can't remember what it's... Oh my god. What is it called?
A few moments later.
Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive ship. Hyperdrive ring. For travel in between galaxies. As seen in Ahsoka Episode 3, Ahsoka has chosen to continue Sabine's Jedi training. Meanwhile, Syndulla, I think is how you say her name. I never pronounce it right. I hope I did. Is requesting the aid of the New Republic to help prevent the next war Thrawn will inevitably bring if brought back to the known galaxy. Here is a recap of Ahsoka Episode 3 with 10 major reveals from the next chapter of the exciting Star Wars show. I think exciting is a little strong of a word in my opinion. This was not a very exciting episode. There was some lightsaber combat, there was some pew pew with the ship battle, but exciting is not what I would call it. But that's just me. Oops, I thought I did that earlier. Oh well. Getting Sabine back into fighting form with a lightsaber, which she should not be. She should not be. She's a Mandalorian. She's a Mandalorian. I will continue to say this throughout this episode. Ahsoka takes over from Hu Yang to try the practice style known as Zatoichi. I think I never am able to remember her lightsaber. I don't remember the styles as well as I should, the names. Giving Sabine a masked helmet to block her physical sight, which we see the younglings use in the prequel trilogy. Masked helmet to block her physical sight. The training technique is a callback to Luke Skywalker's initial training from Obi-Wan Kenobi as seen in A New Hope, which we also see in the prequel era, where that is how younglings are trained. The New Republic doesn't believe the Empire is going to return, which is stupid. I will have to say, Disney royally messed up the New Republic. Like, they are just hopeless. It is a disaster. Like, an absolute disaster of any government. Appearing before a New Republic senatorial committee, the requisition a task force to help Ahsoka and Sabine. Hera's proposal was declined with the belief that not enough evidence was presented for an Imperial resurgence nor Thrawn's return. Likewise, it was also suggested that Hera simply wanted more resources to help in her ongoing quest to find Ezra Bridger, long thought to have died along with Thrawn, as seen in Star Wars Rebels season finale. Yes. Oh. But one of the things that they do comment here, she lets them know about what happened on Corellia, like that there are previous members of the Imperial regime working against the Republic. And several of the senators were like, well, we have former Imperial agents and former Imperial people working all throughout all levels of the New Republic. And they don't see anything wrong with that. It's like, yeah, we have the enemy working in all levels of government. Like, really? Like, what? You mean to say you have people loyal to the Empire working in this New Republic, and there's not, like, they don't see anything wrong with that? Like, the Empire's gone. And it just seemed like Supreme Chancellor had no power, and it was just really bad. Hera's son Jason Syndulla wants to be a Jedi like his father before him. Aw, we finally get a mention of her son. Aw. For like 5 seconds. Hera's son Jason Syndulla also makes his live-action debut in Ahsoka 3. Hearing from Chopper that Sabine is going to be a Jedi, Jason tells his mother that he wants to be a Jedi as well, just like his father, Kanan Jarrus. Which I really hope that they didn't name him Jason after the EU's Jason Solo, because if he becomes what Jason Solo was supposed to be, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be real upset. Just saying. Don't take EU stuff and not give the EU credit for where you got the idea. Us EU fans are tired of that. Ahsoka confirms Sabine can use the Force. No, she doesn't. She says that the Force resides in all living beings, which has been true in the past. And then Sabine makes the good point of, well, then why can't everyone be a Jedi? Why can't everyone use the Force? And she doesn't really answer that. She just does. She's just like, it's fine. No. Nowhere in any of the Star Wars canon up to this point has led us to believe that Sabine is even remotely Force sensitive. Like, not even a tiny itty bitty bit. Which is weird. Like, why? Like, if it is true, which Star Wars has stated that the Force is within all living beings, then why didn't the Jedi use, or basically steal everybody? And Hu Yang, the droid, also makes that point, saying, what are you doing? the Jedi, there was a reason why the Jedi picked certain people who had an affinity for the Force, and it worked. And Ahsoka was like, well, it didn't work. Like, sure, yes, that last 100 or 200 or so years, it did not work. But not because it was not because of the training. It was because of the leadership being complacent. The actual teachings and the actual studying and the Jedi weren't always so bad. My goodness, please stop just hating on the Jedi Order. It was not always horrendous the way we see it in the prequel series. It's not. I get it. Ahsoka is really burned out from the Jedi Order. I get it. I really do. And she has a negative view of them. But come on. Not everything about the Jedi Order was wrong. Should they have taken young children? They didn't technically take. Parents willingly gave their children to the Jedi Order. Like, yes, they'd be like, yes, your child has an affinity with the Force. We would like to take them and train them. Oh, sure, my child gets to be a Jedi, but I never see them again. Like, that's not completely on the Jedi Order, in my opinion. That's also on the parents. But hey, I digress. Despite Hu Yang's confirmation that Sabine carries a very low aptitude to wield the Force and would have never been selected by the Jedi Order to join their ranks, Ahsoka counters with the truth that the Force resides in all living things. As such, Tano is still of the mind that Sabine does have the ability to use the Force, provided she receives the right kind of training. Like, okay. And then we get to see afterward. That was one of the things, like, and I'm going to go back to this scene where she's training Sabine. She says, your Mandalorian training will help you only so much. What are you talking about? Mandalorians for millennia were able to take down and defeat Jedi. That's what they are trained to be able to counter Jedi. What do you mean? Why are we dissing on the Mandalorian culture here? I didn't like that. That was in like the first few minutes of the show. I love the Mandalorian culture, and like my name is Untamed Mando, like Untamed Mandalorian. Are you trying to piss off Mandalorian fans? Like, really? Like, come on. Sabine was a talented and skilled fighter. And she's also not wearing her armor. What was the whole scene about? Like, I'm ready, and she's wearing her armor, and she just takes it off. Like, that is not Mandalorian behavior. Like, I wish that we could have gotten some scene or some throwaway line saying, yeah, I no longer consider myself part of the Mandalorians. That would explain this. But no. Like, her Ahsoka still calls her a Mandalorian. She still says, your Mandalorian training. Like, it upsets me. Because the Mandalorians, not saying that all Mandalorians were better than all Jedi. No, definitely Mandalorians fell, and they lost the Mandalorian-Jedi War back when Revan and Malik were still a thing. But Revan was a very skilled master of the Jedi way, and then he fell to the Sith, if you know that story. It's cool. But like, the Jedi were losing. The Republic was losing against the Mandalorians. Until someone who was a far better, someone who had a far greater aptitude with the Force defeated them. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Sorry, y'all. I digressed. I'm not going to cut that out of the video, though. So, let's bring it back in. Ahsoka proves she's still one of the most skilled Jedi. So, as they're trying to find this hyperdrive or hyperspace ring. They find it, and then of course, little Sith. She's not a Sith. Little dark Jedi apprentice, and then the other dark Jedi apprentice are flying around. They're like, "Hey, we see Ahsoka. Shoot her down." And they were able to damage the ship quite a bit to where Ahsoka had to get out there and start defending the ship. And then the lady, the witch from Dathomir, the Dark Sister, whatever. She's like, "Well, I'll just finish the job for you," and she shoots, and she doesn't kill them either. So I will say that this scene was kind of cool with Ahsoka like jumping around in space, chopping ships, like the little fighters, like just chopping them up and Upon entering the planetary orbit around Cetos, Ahsoka and Sabine's T6 shuttle was attacked by Shin Hati, Marok, and a whole squadron of fighters. As a result, Ahsoka took it upon herself to exit the ship and defend it, while Sabine made repairs, blocking the incoming shots with her lightsabers while standing on the ship's wing, proving her incredible ability and skill as a former Jedi Knight. Former Jedi Knight. May I keep reminding you all, she never... Wait a minute. Former Jedi... No, she's not even a Jedi Knight. She was a Padawan. She was never a Jedi Knight. She was a Padawan. The case can be made that she possibly became a Jedi Knight during when Luke Skywalker's reign. That could be a thing, but I don't know. Morgan Elsbeth's Eye of Sion is a giant hyperspace ring. I should have read this beforehand. I could have said hyperspace ring instead of like just sitting there looking like a dum-dum for a good minute. Following Hu Yang's scan of Morgan Elsbeth's Eye of Sion, he confirms that the structure is a giant hyperspace ring, not unlike the rings used by the Jedi as seen in Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars animated series. It also confirms that the eye can travel to other galaxies, such as the one where Thrawn resides. Ahsoka Episode 3 confirms a major space whale Star Wars theory. So the hyperspace whales do make an appearance here, as they did in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Or was it Season 2? I think it was actually Season 2. I don't remember. During Shin and Marok's pursuit of Ahsoka and Sabine in the Cetos atmosphere, all the ships flew directly through a pod of star whales known as Purrgil. Likewise, Hu Yang also confirmed the Star Wars theory that ancient hyperspace routes leading to other galaxies were discovered long ago by following the migration paths of these creatures, which I stated in, I think, my last video. Tensions on the dark side, Morgan Elsbeth and Shin Hati. Shin is not loyal to Morgan, nor does she care to respect her, as she shouldn't, because that is not her master. She was not told she needed to respect her. It just so happens to be that their goals aligned for this moment. Otherwise, they probably would not be working with each other, if we're just being honest. Having both failed to destroy Ahsoka and Sabine's shuttle, it's clear that there are some underlying tensions between Morgan and Shin. As such, it's clear that Shin's loyalty is to her master, Baylan Skoll, alone having little respect for their employer who hired the team to help locate Thrawn. Yes, I think I said this on Roman's channel last week. I believe that Baylan and Hati are going to betray Morgan, or Morgan's going to betray them. One of them is going to betray the other, and that is what is going to be the ultimate downfall of these 4. Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter is badly damaged. As seen in Ahsoka Episode 3, the T6 was badly damaged by turbo lasers from the Eye of Sion, forced to land on the surface of Cetos. It's unknown if Ahsoka and Sabine will be able to leave the planet in the aftermath of their conflict with Elsbeth and her allies. They're gonna escape. They've got plot armor. Baylan commands hunters who he sends after the Jedi. I love when Baylan is on screen, even if it's for like 5 minutes. He's the reason why this episode was a little bit better than what it was. Serving as the final scene of Ahsoka's Episode 3, Baylan Skoll sends a collection of troops and HK assassin droids into the forest to hunt down Ahsoka and Sabine, hiding within. These are the same soldiers who were in service to Elsbeth as seen in Mandalorian Season 2 with Ahsoka's live-action debut on the planet Corvus. Having enlisted the help of the Mandalorian Din Djarin to arrest Elsbeth and learn of the star map to Thrawn, which Tano located in Ahsoka's first episode. So yeah, that's kind of that's it. Not much happened. I'll be quite honest. It was a lot lackluster than I expected it to be. It I mean, it wasn't horrible. For me personally, and if you have a different opinion, please put it in the comments below. Just for me, I feel like they are very intentionally trying to disrespect or discredit the Mandalorian upbringing that Sabine had. Which, granted, I understand a lot of Jedi view themselves as better than Mandalorians, even back then. It's still, I don't like it. You have an entire show called The Mandalorian where you are supposed to be diving into Mandalorian culture at least a little bit. And then you have another show that's just disrespecting it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that most people had a better opinion of this episode than I did. I still think it's better than some other things that Disney Star Wars is putting out right now. Is it one of the best? No, not by a long shot. So, thank you guys. I hope to see you again on the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on this episode and what your predictions for the next few episodes of Ahsoka are. Please don't forget, I will be this Thursday. I will be on my friend Roman of the Empire's channel talking about this episode with my friends. And yeah, it'll be tomorrow at
2,000 years later.
7 Central Standard Time. Sorry, time zones are weird. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Toodles for now. Bye.